another amazing Monstrosities member called Chum. Please introduce yourself.
You
Who's
guys.
introducing
Oh,
themselves first?
yeah.
You
I
can
see.
go, Chum. You can go.
Hello, I am Chumblago. I am a strange individual with a lot of terrible taste in most things, and I am glad to be here.
Oh my God,
That's
we got
great.
Ranger Squid.
Hello there.
Hello. You guys probably remember me from last time, but I'm Lady Rebellion, one of the co-owners of Monstrosities, and I am wholly against sleep genes. That's all you need to know about me.
Why are you gonna start out swinging like that?
Well, it's
Try to
amazing.
explain.
And we have Ranger Squid as well. Ranger Squid, could you please introduce yourself for all the streams, all the
Hello there. I am Ranger Squid. Um, I'm 23 on the East Coast and happy to be here in general.
Happy to
That's
have you.
great. All right. So today's topic is streaming, correct?
Yes, I
Sure
believe so.
is.
So what are we talking about streaming in general? What are we talking?
Well, I figured we could all just bring a topic that is somewhat related and just kind of discuss it. If anyone has any that they have rearing to go and want to bring it up, go ahead.
Let's start with Ranger Squid. What do you think about streaming, and what do you think streaming is for you generally?
Um, so streaming for me is just enjoyable fun sometimes. Um, it's a place where I can basically have video proof that like, hey, I actually did something. Because sometimes I'm like, or sometimes in the past it's been like, oh, did you actually do this? It's like, well, no, I didn't, and well, now there's video proof of it. Um, in general, oh, actually, hold on just 1 second. I apologize.
Do 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 do.
Okay, let's move on to Rebellion. What about you? What do you think about streaming? What is it for?
What I think about it, I think it sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Streaming is freaking fantastic. As someone who started off as a let's play sort of person, I used to watch a lot of them, so I was like, I can do that. So I tried making like YouTube videos, but oh my god, so much editing, so much like having to put things out constantly, just constant content, everything else. Streaming, on the other hand, I tried that later on after college, and I was like, oh my god, I just go live, play the game in real time, interact with people in real time, and then that's it. I can edit later if I want to, but I don't have to. That was the content. I think that's like so much easier, at least on my part. I do love editing, it's part of my job, but live streaming just kind of like clicked with me in that way because of the instant interaction with other people and the way that content can just kind of naturally occur live for people to see. I think it's really cool.
I agree. Chum, you're next.
Streaming for me was probably a lot less positive at the start or reasoning than everyone else's. For me, I
Aw.
have a history of kind of giving up everything I've ever been interested in out of thinking, well, I'm gonna be bad at it, so I should really just give up now. Like there's a lot of stuff that I liked and I was enjoying, but I kept kind of comparing myself to other people, and then to in my mind to save time and effort, I should just stop and try something different. But with streaming, my girlfriend actually bought me an Xbox, and it's just like, hey, you want to do the streaming thing? You want to play an Xbox? Then go for it. And so I'm going to stream for as long as I can and not give up early. I'd rather reach the end of my quote unquote streaming career the hard way than just talking myself out of continuing it. And it's been a lot of fun. I've had a great time with it. So that's
Chum,
like a personal growth thing.
That's awesome.
Chum, I'm sorry to interrupt, Chum, but just so you know, just so you freaking know, you're not ending streaming. You're gonna stream. You're gonna stream with the monsters. You're gonna stream here. You're gonna have podcasts for many, many years. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Stream is a secondary thing. I do want to point out that you need to have like a first thing, like your first job that you love. But if you can come back home, spend some quality time, like 10, 20, 30 minutes with the fam, and then get back into streaming that you love, uh, that's just amazing for me. And I like everything that Rebellion and Chum said, guys. I agree on both of this. But for me, it's more of a superficial as well because to connect with someone, being like since I was in India and over there, not many people speak English with me. Um, I kind of feel that you know just getting to know someone through internet, it was just amazing. But then when I was introduced to streaming, I was led to believe that you can earn shit ton of money. I'm like, I don't want to do that for money. I want to do that because I want to influence people. I want to get to know people, and I want to show my sexy face. That's all.
That's always important.
That is
Priorities.
that is the most important thing.
I mean, I have to agree. Have you seen Killster? Come on.
A majestic fellow indeed.
Also,
I'm just
by the
13
way,
Kiwis in a trench coat.
people who are in
God
my stream,
damn!
I tried to turn off my notifications because I just now realized that they make a lot of noise. So I apologize for the random
Hello.
noise.
No worries.
This is
Thanks,
very new
everybody.
to us, so it's hard for us to figure this out immediately, but we're getting there. This is our second one, so we're getting a little bit better.
Yeah. It takes
Squid.
a lot of time to understand.
Squid, are you back? Are you able to talk to us more?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and
Um,
continue.
So streaming in general for me is just fun, enjoyable time. I absolutely love the memes that come out of it. Um, yeah, I just everything about it is just enjoyable.
You say memes?
Yes.
What kind of memes?
Um,
Like memes of
well,
you?
basically my stream tends to just roast me the entire time I'm streaming. So if I'm streaming for like 4 or 5 hours, it's just consistent. It's either puns or it's memes about me.
That's hilarious. That's actually really cool that your community does that.
Yeah. Also, my friends are assholes. So
Well, sometimes that's the best way to have friends, though. Like they push your buttons in all the right ways. That sounds like a lot of like
Exactly.
support. Like a well-supported community.
Yeah.
I dig that. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I asked. Okay.
Guys, we
Nikila.
do have Nakila with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
Do you want? Do you want to
Nakila, are
talk?
you gonna talk to us this time? I guess not. Alright, so let's move on, I guess. So, what else? What else about streaming? Like, for me, at first, streaming was like somewhat of an escape mechanism from the stress of the life. Has that been the same for you guys as well?
As like an outlet.
Kind of.
I've definitely been a lot more optimistic about things since I started streaming. I was kind of the person who's like, wait, let me think about what I'm going to do first. And then I spent hours thinking about what I'm going to do and not actually doing it. And it's like, streaming, I kind of have to be like a stream of consciousness. I have to keep something going. And I don't know, been happier for it. Also, chat's been nice to me, except for the fact they make fun of my everything. Food taste,
Well,
sleep genes.
it's really good to make it. Yeah.
Those were words.
It seems like
those
there's.
were amazing words.
It seems like there's a lot of people making fun of other people. What's up with this? This sounds like bullying.
I know, right?
Like now I feel bad.
I put banana on mayonnaise.
Chum, your
let me
sleep
try that
genes are
again. Switch
fine.
that around. Switch that around.
Banana with
Wait,
mayonnaise.
banana and mayonnaise together in general?
As a sandwich, yes. That was like, as soon as that was mentioned on stream and that was revealed like forever ago, that stuck. And it's like, I can't go back to being aloof and interesting now. Oh god, better just dive deeper into what are my other things that's odd about me, like I sleep in jeans. because I'm afraid that there's a fire. I need to be prepared, and I don't know why, but jeans seem like the most fire preparedness attire.
Is that really why? I thought maybe you were just too lazy to switch into jammies or something.
No.
Oh, wow. All right. I mean, at least it's practical, I guess. Because to me, sleep jeans do not sound practical. They sound awful.
That is quite amazing, by the way. Banana mayonnaise. Wow.
It's really cool to see how like interpersonal streaming memes can occur in like people's channels and things. I don't know if I really have anything like that, so I can't really contribute anything like that. Nothing like bananas and mayonnaise sandwiches. I can't even hope to reach that level, but that sounds really cool. Like, you know, that's another big part of streaming that I feel like people don't really get, is that you create like a community culture almost.
Well, I've never had that, but I've been made fun of like for being Indian on stream. I've had rough times with people, but guess what? The amazing, sexy person that I am, I don't give a shit.
I like the humbleness.
Of course,
Always.
I'm the humblest dude ever.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I guess we can kind of launch into a topic of toxicity from that. There's definitely ways for people to be kind of trolling in like a funny way. I mean, there's definitely people come to my stream and do that. But when it gets to people actually trying to be cruel and get you down, like how do you deal with that? Were you expecting that sort of response? What does that do for you whenever you're streaming?
Ranger, I'm gonna let you lead on that one.
I'm sorry, what was the question again? Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
Just like toxicity in streaming, I feel like it's a big topic for a lot of people. I don't know about us specifically, but if you have any kind of experience with it, what you do when it happens, what it does to you, if you were kind of expecting that to happen when you go live on the internet.
So, to kind of give a comparison, do any of you know or remember really Forsen in the Hearthstone community?
Yep.
I used to watch his stream a lot. And that kind of sums up my level of toxicity that I've seen in Twitch. So I'm kind of numb to any kind of toxicity in general. I think it's only happened a couple times where people are toxic that just come into the stream and just are annoying. And I just ignore them, really. I can just minimize chat and not have to worry about it too much. However, oftentimes anyone who joins my stream is just someone I know, someone who's close to me, or someone that I just met recently that's like not a troll in general. But toxicity definitely is an issue in a lot of other chats and a lot of other streams. I definitely can understand that. Especially any channel with like, I would say probably 500 plus followers, I would say is about where the mark then becomes someone just goes into a stream that they know and they just are toxic as hell with it. And I don't know, it's just like, it's definitely an issue. I just haven't seen it much myself in my own streams.
Good, I'm glad. I feel like a lot of people have brought it up to me as like issues that they've dealt with or other people have dealt with, and they always assume that since I am a girl streaming that I've dealt with a lot of it. Surprisingly, I feel like the people who've come by my streams for the most part have been super nice and welcoming, have not been super toxic. I, of course, have those random people that pop in and want to say stupid things. The best way that I've found to kind of get over that kind of shit is like, I just kind of play along with it. So if someone's coming and saying like, "Ooh, what that mouth do?" I'd be like, "Oh, whatever you want it to, babe." And it's just like, as soon as you like downplay it and make them just look like absolutely stupid for trying to start shit, like I feel like they just kind of go away. Like I feel like they're just there to get a rise out of you. As long as you don't let them do that, they don't have a point to be there, so they just leave. You know. Thankfully, I haven't had anything too extreme. I've had like a string of people come in from somewhere. There was actually a really big streamer that had their community just randomly like raiding people and then saying like absolutely awful shit in chat. And that happened to me, and I just had to.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But the thing is that the people who are toxic, remember the last episode we talked about, they're frustrated with their life. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything um value valuable thing to do. So they don't they don't do anything positive with them. So
Totally.
they just they go to your stream. They say, "This is what happened to me." Okay, and over the talk shows, I don't mean any racism like against anyone. But the thing is that I got dealt by this. I was quite new to Twitch, and what I did, like what I had like 15, 20 people. That was the first time I ever hit 15, 20 people at like 100 followers or something. And these guys, all they said was that you yellow piece of shit. I'm like,
Oh,
no, 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 no,
jeez.
no, 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 no. I'm not yellow. I'm just brown, and I love it. And as soon as I said that, they went like, they went more overboard with the negativity and the toxicity and the racism with my culture. And I was like, you know what, guys, say whatever you want, get banned, get the fuck out. I don't give a shit. I was laughing as soon as they started being toxic because that's how it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and that, oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like, it's rough for people, and you never know when it's gonna strike either. Like, I know so many women who have to deal with it, and so many people who are like of color, or even like people who are transgender that have to deal with a bunch of that shit. And it's hard because I almost feel like in a way while you're streaming, like you're almost putting a target on your back for being like, here I am, this is who I am, and I'm just opening myself up to your criticism. I don't know if anyone else kind of feels that way.
I can
Yeah,
agree with
I
that.
do.
Yeah, because I mean, we're putting ourselves out there for random people on the internet to just watch. It's definitely a vulnerable position to be in, because you can pretty much say whatever you want up until I can time you out, ban you, do whatever, and it can definitely be hurtful.
Yep. Ranger, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I got home about 2 hours ago. So,
That's great. What do you think about like Ranger? Tell me one thing. Are you a variety streamer?
yes, I am. I have no set schedule, no set game, because I just half the time that if I try to set a schedule, I will not follow it within 6 hours of me setting it. Because something either comes up or I get bored of the game I'm playing or something happens. So,
See, I feel like I'm the same way. Where I was kind of talking about this in my last stream, where I was just like, I kind of just get bored with stuff. There's a guy that I know that has played 1,200 hours of Rainbow Six, and I'm just like,
Oh
I
my
don't know how
god.
people do that. I get so bored of things after a while. It doesn't even matter if it's like games or food or a TV show or whatever. I just like I have to switch it up a lot. I don't know if that's a personal thing or if people are just so dedicated to one game they just kind of push their feelings aside and play it anyway.
in
I think
comparison, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no worries. I think that like for me, I have a lot of hours on League of Legends, but I go back and forth. So this is what I wanted to talk about with the variety streamers. So let's say that you stream like every day. You're a full time streamer. Let's say that, yeah. So if you have the same mindset as Lady Rebellion, what you gotta do is 2 days you stream one thing, and the another 2 days you stream another, and then the other 2 days you stream something different. So let's say that you have two games that you loved so much, or one game that you love amazingly. So, but you don't want to get out of it because you don't want to lose your skill. Let's say that the game's CS:GO or League of Legends. So what you can do, in my opinion, is like the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, you go for CS:GO. The next 2 days you go for League of Legends. The next 2 days you go for Minecraft. But those 4 days you keep switching up games.
Yeah, I definitely think a like a schedule kind of helps people to know like if they're there for Minecraft for instance, if you have a schedule that says like every Monday is Minecraft Monday, then they know to come on Monday or something like that. I think that's definitely important.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
if you
Yep.
have a kind of set four games or something that you like to play. I mean, sometimes I'll just be like, "Oh, new game came out. I'm playing this week." You know, like I'm trying to keep some things regular. Like I'm trying to do like Mario at least once a week, but I get wrapped up in other games too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that tends to be what I do sometimes is that like I stick to just playing through a game and just trying to complete that. Or if I just don't feel like playing through that specifically, I'll play something that I can just pop in anytime, like Rainbow Six Siege or Slay the Spire or Risk of Rain or something like that, just to pass the time if I just feel like relaxing and not doing much. And also for comparison, I have 181 hours on Siege and I'm only level 80. So just for a
Ugh.
comparison.
I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I mean, I love
It's really
certain
bad.
games. I just,
Um, where is
I mean, I love Overwatch, and I think I've played maybe 90 hours in it. But it's like I don't know that I could ever be like the Overwatch channel, you know? Because I love popping
Yeah,
in
yeah,
every once in a while.
that's what like a lot of people fail to do. That they go like, I'm a League of Legends streamer, I'm an Overwatch streamer. At that point, you will only get viewers. First of all, putting aside that you get bored, but you will only get the viewers from, let's say, that Overwatch, the people who are watching
Mhm.
Overwatch. But if you get connected to a person who's watching let's say League of Legends, because League of Legends is the kind of game, League of Legends, CS:GO, Overwatch, like all these games have one thing, the competitive edge. But what happens is that if you get connected to one person, that person sticks with you forever. So
Mhm.
even if you're playing Overwatch and you're League of Legends, mainly you stream League of Legends, right? They will still come to your stream and they'll still talk. That's the main thing. That's the reason why I said that you need to switch the, like, you need to make a schedule for your games and your stream.
Yeah, and I feel like I do like a combination of those things where I have a schedule of when I'm streaming, which is just helpful in general, and then I will say on the schedule what games I'm gonna play. So at least then people kind of know like, okay, I don't really care about Mario, so I'm gonna miss Monday, but Tuesday they're gonna be doing this, you know, that sort of thing, and maybe I'm interested in that. I feel like that has helped a little bit, especially keeping myself like kind of in my own rhythm of streaming and playing certain games. I like to give myself a good variety throughout the week and kind of like every other do this game, every other do this game, and that way I kind of cover all the bases without having to really constrain myself to one thing.
Yep. That's amazing.
But yeah, if anyone has any other kind of like tips or experience with maybe sticking to one game, maybe doing a variety. I think the majority of us here are variety streamers, but if you have any kind of say on that, maybe you're not. I don't know. Maybe you have played one game throughout your stream, and I don't know about it.
The one
Oh, go ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I'm not much of a variety streamer. Like, I've, I guess I kind of am, but it's more of like I'm a genre streamer
Yeah,
where
that makes sense.
I prefer playing like character action games like Devil May Cry and Nier Automata and Kingdom Hearts 3 and stuff of that like nature, where a lot of those games either have some kind of style system or skill progression on like the player's perspective. Like you can see someone kind of get better at the game as they learn how to put stuff together. Um, and I think I went like 2 months where I played just Nier Automata, like backwards and forwards and getting all the different endings and all that stuff, and I never got bored with it at all. And I think that's from the genre of game that I play,
Yeah,
and that it's I don't know, that's something that if I could just play either games made by Platinum Games Incorporated or those style of character action games, I would do that almost exclusively.
yeah, and I mean, and you totally can. Like I think there's a lot of people out there. Like it's hard to stick to just one game, but I think I see a lot of people sticking to like a genre, like FPS, for example. I know a lot of people who are very strictly like FPS games, and I think that still kind of, I think that kind of goes with like the one game mentality, not necessarily a game, but like just keeping a theme for your channel. I think that applies.
For me, the one game that I keep just always in the background is for me Pokemon, because I can't stream half of Zelda that I want to because I don't have the capture card for my Wii, and I also just don't want to emulate the games. Um, but Pokemon is something that I can just pull up with a random game and just do a challenge or do a speed run or something, and I can just enjoy myself. and then I can play like Minecraft and other games in the meantime. Just the one game I won't actually play on stream is regular League of Legends because of the fact that if anyone comes to my stream specifically from the League community looking for League and they see it and then they only stay just to watch me play, I don't want that. And so, and the community is just very toxic in League, and that
Yeah.
anyone who's below the level of gold is just trash and should not be regarded whatsoever. And
Yeah.
I've been playing League on and off for now 7 years, and it brought out an incredible amount of toxicity and rage inside of me.
Wow.
And the amount of rage that people post online is even more than what I show. Um, so that's the one thing that I have banned myself basically from, and the only way that I'm allowed to play League on my stream is I made a Twitch clip of this. Is that someone donates to me $25, I'll play some games of League for them.
Wow. All right.
So far,
And
no one
how's
has
that
ever.
going for you?
Oh, it's just a picture. Like in a couple of years, whenever they want to throw me $25, they'd be like, "Hey, go play League." I'm like, "Okay."
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and good for you for kind of acknowledging that that's a toxic thing for you and you want to stay away from that in order to keep positive and keep that sort of mentality out of your stream. I mean, that's huge and I don't understand what it is about certain games that makes it so toxic like that. You know, like League of Legends, it's like little cute little cartoon people running around on this map. Like it doesn't like you know how people are always like, oh, like video games causing violence because people are shooting other people, but like look at this little League of Legends with this magic and all this stuff. Like what
Or like
makes it so
Minecraft,
toxic? You know?
like placing a couple grass blocks down to flatten out your land more.
It's just it's like so
Not to
crazy.
mention, Rebellion, that in League of Legends you kill people.
You do kill people, but it's not like bloody, right?
Well, you never know unless you see the person, you know.
I think
if you
part
see...
of the. Oh, sorry. Good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of the toxicity, like if you, League of Legends, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, which Rainbow Six is mixed bag as far as I know, toxicity wise. They're all objective games, where if someone's like not really doing their objective or not excelling at their objective, you can kind of see, oh, it's exactly this person, not like this person is holding us back. It's kind of the mentality people get.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of
And when you
sense.
play League enough times or long enough, you're like, I know that
This is
won't.
the issue or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Or
like,
if there's like a huge skill gap between like
Mhm.
your top laners. Like if you're, let's say you're silver 1 and your top laner is a silver 3, and but you're playing against a plat 2 top laner who mains top. You can't blame them for having a rough matchup.
Yeah.
Because they're playing against someone who's absolutely incredibly stronger than everyone on the team. And sometimes people just don't realize that, or sometimes people do, and they're like, okay, we're sorry, we didn't mean to like yell at you, let's actually try to win this, even if. But then there's times when it's like they're the same skill level, and then you realize that, okay, this person is just not as good or something, and so people get really mad about that, people get annoyed about that and start raging and being salty.
it comes from, and I played League a little bit. I ended up kind of falling off of it when I realized I was becoming toxic from it. Like I would, after
Wow.
certain games, I would just think, gosh, if only blank lane hadn't lost so hard, we would be winning this game right now. Or
That
like,
is how many times my friend says that every single time we play, and
or
it's so bad.
the worst one for me, which made me kind of just sort of stop playing League, was the fact that I'm bad at it. So I was the person that was holding the team back, and I could feel it.
Oh.
And it's just like I'd rather just not play the game ever again, so that other people can enjoy playing it.
Yeah,
And I guess I'll just, I might like if I hop on the League, I might just do like some create like custom match or something. But I might do one, and then it's just like this feels like I'm actively avoiding playing this game. I enjoyed League, but I hate being the weakest link on a team.
Yeah.
because it adds a lot of pressure. It's also why I don't play a whole lot of multiplayer games. Or if I play a multiplayer game, it's usually something where I can mute everyone else.
You can
Well,
mute
you
everyone
can
in League
mute
too.
people in League of Legends as well.
Yeah,
Moreover,
slash mute all.
and secondly,
Easy.
um,
You need the objective though. You need to communicate.
based on your topic, sir, Mr. Chum,
Hmm.
based on your topic, I would say don't stop playing League. Play League with someone like me, because people like me, we just try to have fun with the game. Like I have my friend named Rasmus. He just joined the community as well, and it doesn't matter what the rank we are in. We want to get better, of course, but then we want to have fun more than playing. And so we just have fun with their toxicity. You know what I mean?
Um, this is I definitely agree with like you shouldn't want to avoid playing a game that you enjoy. Um, on a not to get all like into Chum's mind kind of thing. I also have this real severe aversion to like aggressive situations, and it comes from like a whole home life thing. Don't need to go too deep into that. But if it's like if I know there's gonna be like aggression or toxicity or something, I'll just avoid it entirely. And
That's smart.
that's why I play mainly single player games where like oh no, this AI is upset with me, and now it's gone. It's like it's very different situations, and I think it's more for me on like a personal level of I just want to avoid like that that sort of frustration that comes with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
understand.
And yeah, and I think it's kind of like the company that you keep, like when you're playing a game and everyone else is being toxic, it's really easy to get sucked into it, and especially when you're trying to stream and people are coming in and being toxic, trying to tell you what to do and everything like that. Like there are definitely a lot of genres that have that kind of plagued in that community, which I think maybe it just comes down to like games becoming too competitive. Like maybe people are just becoming way too competitive and take it out on other people. Kind of like what you were saying with the objective type games, which I think makes a lot of sense actually. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like sports, like how people will play football and then get like super aggressive because they're being competitive and get into like these big fights and stuff. And it's one of those things where you have to kind of police yourself and make sure that you're not letting it get to you, and you don't let those kinds of people like bring down your stream and surround you and your community, because it's definitely, it could be hurtful.
But the thing is that those footballers, they're actually getting paid to play. So it's natural for them to be aggressive over a game and get into fights because they don't want to get an unfair, advantage over someone or let the other one get an unfair advantage. But the thing is that in gaming communities, what happens is that everyone thinks that they're better than someone. That's the main reason why they're aggressive.
Yeah, and I definitely think like the physical activity of it and all that like blood pumping and stuff like that, it definitely doesn't help. And I think at a certain point it's almost like an ego thing. It's just like I can't afford to lose, I can't afford to look bad in front of my streamers, that sort of thing. And it
That
makes
is
you
a lot of pressure.
yeah, it is a lot of pressure, I guess. Yeah, and I feel that sometimes when I play some of these more competitive games. Because don't get me wrong, I love me some multiplayer games. I play them most of the time, but it is really hard. Even if I'm telling people like, "Oh, I'm bad," like, haha, it's still kind of like there's a lot of pressure to be good, to feel like I can actually perform for people.
Does anyone have any games like Ranger was saying how like there are just games he avoids playing or avoids streaming?
Uh, Call of Duty slash CS:GO. I will never touch.
Hmm.
Fortnite any day.
Hmm.
Fortnite. I'm not touching. I'm not touching a shit night.
Yeah,
No.
I'll agree with that one too.
I played Fortnite so that Moat would play Doki Doki Literature Club, and that was a deal slash bet that we made. But that's the only time I ever play it.
In the small defense of Fortnite, Fortnite really isn't that bad of a game. It's
The
just the
community is.
community has turned into what it is now, and it's really bad.
Totally.
But also, there are some good parts to it.
Yeah, I mean they do such a good job like keeping the game updated and stuff.
Oh
But
my god, they do. Have you guys seen the animations for each season?
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Every
It
time
just
it's
gets better
amazing.
every single season. It just like you think like okay, these animations are good in this game, and then Fortnite just says, hold my beer, and they just throw into like season 9, season 10, just being incredible every single time. Like season
Yeah,
2
it's
had
amazing.
great animations back then.
And even just the marketing, like they teamed up with like Borderlands of all things. That's not even a game that is
Yeah.
theirs, but yet they got the
I know,
rights
Avengers.
to
right?
it. Marvel,
Yeah,
things
the
like that.
Avenger thing, they've
Yeah.
got new, they're almost monthly updates for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I give them a lot of credit for what they do, but it's it's just
The
another one of
community.
those communities that develops around it, and it's like what can they do to combat that, you know? Like Overwatch had the same problem, and they're trying to keep putting in different tools to report people and stuff like that.
The thing
I
is
would
that with free games, it happens. Like, think about the same happens with League of Legends, same with Fortnite. It doesn't happen with PUBG. Of course, there's gonna be hackers, but it doesn't happen as much as in PUBG if you think about it.
hmm.
Maybe it's because all the 11-year-olds can't get in there.
The audience
Exactly.
size is just
um,
larger.
I think I would compare Fortnite to like the Fortnite popularity to Minecraft popularity when it came out. Um, what I'm trying to go with this is that Minecraft got very popular very quickly. A lot of people did enjoy it, but then the community just got worse and worse and worse, and it was all just children basically playing it. So everyone just stopped playing it because oh, the community's toxic. Oh, these it's all just children playing it. No one else actually like plays it. And then, as recently as we've all seen, Minecraft has had this sudden resurgence because people realized, wait a minute, this is actually a fun game, and we don't care about the community because all the kids who used to play it all the time are now young teens slash young adults who are older and more mature in general. And same with Fortnite, where right now it's kind of hitting that spell of okay,
Look at that booty, show me the booty, give me the
and
booty, I want the booty,
but
back up
probably
the booty,
God
I need the
damn
booty, I
it.
like the booty, oh what a
die
booty.
out completely.
Fuck. Jesus.
I think it's gonna die out because, like, I think that the new update for Fortnite. I did play this season.
Oh, the Max.
The new update is, yeah, the max. The max is really bad. The only reason why League of Legends is a bit better than Fortnite is because if the community, all the community top streamers, let's say, and the people are reporting that this is not good, they're getting feedback. Riot actually works on it, and within let's say weeks they switch it. So that's the main difference between them. And secondly, the community actually, I would say it's bad, but you can mute them, you can report them, and they actually take amazing action against that. Because in Fortnite, they don't take amazing action.
I mean, I think it's hard. It's kind of like policing our own streams. Like, there's only so much you can do. People are just gonna keep coming in and being toxic. You have to keep banning them and trying your best.
Yeah, I mean that's what League of Legends does. But you know, it doesn't matter because at least they know that they've been banned once. What these games should do, they should ban the IP for from logging in from that area.
Dead by Daylight has that. After a certain number of bans, it's the IP is then locked.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. I've never played Dead by Daylight. Is it good?
I'm not a huge Dead by Daylight person, but I've watched a lot of streamers who do, or a lot of my other streamer friends play it, and they also have kind of a toxicity issue where one of my friends,
Yeah.
Slap and Tickle, got like borderline cyber stalked by someone
Yeah.
for like they just were horrible, and he had to report him on several different accounts, and eventually the guy just kind of disappeared, and it was at this point accepted to believe that his IP eventually got locked, but it still took several bans and locks to do it. Like the game itself, it's pretty cool asymmetrical, like 4v1 or 1v4, I guess, depending on if you want to count the killer's perspective being the dominant one. Like it's cool. The game's definitely something a lot of people are enjoying, but you have to be, especially with asymmetrical games, you have to be very on point with how to ban and punish people for being toxic or being awful.
And it's interesting, like, these kinds of games that are like team based, how they can still be so toxic. 'Cause I would think it would promote like teamwork and like trying to work together cooperatively and stuff, and yet people are just like, you fucking suck, blah blah blah.
It's
That's
mentality.
exactly how they sound. That's exactly how they sound.
It's the, I'm holding the team back, or they're holding the team back. We could win by now if they were better.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of what I would expect. It's like, why?
What was it?
Killers and sorry, go ahead, Ranger. Go ahead.
There was one time, I think it was like back in April or something, and I had just been starting out playing Siege, and one of the guys from one of my Discords came in and was like, you know, you're not that good at this game. I'm like, dude, I've only have like 20 something hours on this game. I'm trash. I know this. Like, relax. It's fine. If you want to watch skill, go watch anyone else, because I am not good right now.
Yeah, which like
Yeah, but it was. No, go ahead. Rebellion.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like almost putting out a disclaimer. Like, I put a disclaimer on my own stream. I've seen many people do it that just basically says, like, yeah, I'm bad, but I'm here for the lulz kind of thing. You know, like, and it's kind of sad that we had to, like, all say that, because I'm sure most of us are really not that bad, per se, just compared to, like, the pro freaking esports people or whatever. It's just like, why are we having to, like, you know, hamstring ourselves just to get people off our backs, you know?
I think, have you guys ever seen someone like either play a puzzle game or have a puzzle in front of them that you've already figured out, and like you almost get kind of annoyed that it's taking them so long, even though it probably took you twice as long when you started it?
Yeah.
That's sort of the case with like competitive games where it's like, I've already figured out what I'm supposed to be doing right here, but you haven't, and now I have to agonizingly watch you. Like, this isn't my mentality, but this is what comes from it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch you learn it the slow way.
In
And-
real time, you know? Like, if
Yeah.
this were a YouTube video, you could cut all that shit out and be like, oh, I figured it out. And it's like the whole, it's the backseat gamer tag, or backseat gaming tab, or no backseat gaming allowed
That has
tag.
helped me a lot.
Yeah,
Backseat gamer
I'm
tag,
kind of
like,
glad that, like, Twitch has that. I didn't realize, I think it was until I went to Chum's stream that was even a tag, and I was like,
Wait,
shit.
there's a backseat gamer tag?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a
no
no backseat gaming tag.
Oh.
I
it has
know!
helped me immensely. Like, when I played games this past like month or so, I decided to play games outside my comfort zone, play stuff that I'm not used to playing, like Ace Combat and whatever. Stuff where there are people who are very skillful at those games, and they would show up, and before the tag, I would get like, hey, you're doing this wrong, blah blah blah, and it would discourage me from playing. And then I put on the tag, and those people stopped showing up, and new people showed up, just like, hey, you know, if you casually did this high G turn or do this and this, and they were so friendly and nice, and it was, let me try the same experiment with like not having a tag with one game and then having the tag with the same game later, and there was a very noticeable difference. And I think people are searching for no backseat gaming in some cases, or at least in the skill games that I play. I don't know if it translates
Exactly.
to others.
You know what? I'm so happy that you actually found the audience for yourself, and I'm just waiting for Mixer to have something like that. But you know, it's gonna be a long time because they're working on a lot of other things. And to be honest, there's no difference between these two places. The only difference right now is that the Mixer doesn't get a lot of attention. That's all.
It's just starting out, and it's definitely doing its best to grow, and I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine.
And a lot of people, like, in chat here saying, like, you know, some people don't look at the tags and they just do the backseat gaming anyway, or some people don't really know the difference between, like, backseat gaming or just, like, general tips and things like that. Which, I mean, you know, tags, we can only do so much to say, like, don't freaking spoil things for me, don't tell me what to do, but it's gonna happen, you know? At least there are some tools that kind of allow us to say, hey, I would appreciate if you didn't.
If you get banned for this, you knew why.
Yeah, for real. If you get muted. Yeah, for sure. But I think it's definitely important to say, like, it's straight up, just be like, you know, tips are fine if you just want to tell me, like, a little bit, but, like, don't take it over the top. Don't be like, you're just completely doing this wrong, you suck. I sounded like Trump, that was weird.
Jesus.
Wrong. But that's really how it feels sometimes, though. But again, it comes with the territory.
If I tried.
I mean, this is all interactive, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like what you said, Chum. It's like when someone's already completed the game before you, it's probably torture to see you struggle with something so stupid that they got maybe in 2 seconds. But it's just like I don't think people realize that this is us playing it in real time, and not all of us are able to just like pick things up. You know, I'm sure there was something that they were messing around with forever. You know what I mean? Oh, look, a random Seeb.
So, I actually have a question for all of you about how long, for average, are your streams that you do?
Oh, that's a good question.
Not long enough.
I would say my average streams are like minimum of 4 hours when I stream.
That's
Like
a
4 to
big
5
chunk.
hours at the minimum.
Dang.
I'd say I've been trying to push mine from 2 to 3. Just try to get myself out there a little bit longer because I have more time now at night than I did before. So I was like, I might as well use it up a little more.
Mine are 2 hours to 2.5 hours. Sometimes I'll push it to 3, but like I'd like to go longer, but I stream mostly at like late at night, where I mod a large number of channels, so I try to keep up with them and stuff. And I have friends who are very close friends, like Moat Simulator, who I don't like going over her schedule or over her time. So I sort of built my schedule around accommodating, spending time with my girlfriend or making sure I spend time with the streamers that I like. So I'm kind of in a 2 hour to 3 hour sort of mark. And I did stream for 5 hours one time, and that was way too much for me as someone who only did 2 hours before.
Yeah, you almost have to like gear yourself up for it, get that endurance.
I've done an 8-hour stream before. That's the longest so far.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was...
What happened to you?
He fell
I just
asleep.
kept the stream going, and I actually had dinner on stream while watching YouTube.
That's a very good way to have dinner.
I was just like, yo, I need to go make food for 5 minutes, then I'll be back, and we can just watch YouTube at the same time.
There's a category for that, watching people eat.
But the reason why I asked is because the biggest thing is that I get, for some reason, tired halfway through, like, let's say it's a 3-hour stream. Like, even if it's late at night or it's in the morning, and I was just like, I don't know. It's just weird, but...
Yeah, like,
it's
sometimes
tired.
it's like, you have to kind of schedule it into your life, but then you also have to have, like, the endurance to actually sit your ass down for 8 hours or something, you know? I find it hard to do, to balance both, to get, like, a good schedule where I'm not, like, ignoring everyone in my life, but also be able to actually sit there and, like, chat with people, or even, like, just having a dead chat, just talking to myself. That's hard to do for, like, 8 hours, you know? And it happens.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're at the probably we've got 10-20 more minutes. So let's start up the Q&A. All right. From the chat, from Twitter, from everywhere. Let's start it up, guys. Everyone in the chat, please ask us anything. We will try our best to answer the questions, and I'll just be sexy here, so you know.
There was one from Aster a while back when we were talking about toxicity, and he asked if anyone has dealt with toxicity outside of stream, kind of like what Chum was describing with Slap and Tickle, where people will like get into your DMs or like bug you somewhere else other than stream, but they know you because of the stream. You know what I mean?
Yep, I have it. I have it a lot. I had my high school friends who knew about my stream, and they said that you look ugly on stream. You don't have any skill on stream. I'm like, you know what? If you want to talk about
Hey,
that,
thanks, guys.
it's all right.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, gee,
God.
thanks, guys. I mean, I'm just trying to be funny on stream, but you know what? If you want to be negative, go negative in your own space. Don't come here.
Seriously. Well, and it's like, put yourself out there and do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people who are putting people down for streaming, it's like, well, I don't see you trying to do this shit, man. I'm trying to put myself out here and do something special. And
Yeah, exactly. How about you guys? Have you guys been, like, you know?
I have not seen much in terms of DMs. There was one guy who, well, it was mainly just a chat in a Discord that he wasn't happy about, but he was a part of my stream for quite a while, and I made one comment in the Discord which was just a joke, and he just stopped coming to my stream and then didn't talk to me about it whatsoever
Oh.
until like 3 months later.
Oh.
And I'm just like, dude, that was an absolute joke. Like, that wasn't serious whatsoever. And then he never talked to me after that.
That's so weird.
Jesus, that's stupid. That's not weird. That's just stupid.
Yep.
With me, I don't tell my like real friends or family about my streams at all. I actually try to keep it kind of like the chum life and then my personal life are completely separate, with the only like overlaps being my girlfriend's a mod or one of my other friends happens to show up. So I haven't really had too many like weird crossovers as far as like toxicity goes. I've had weird suggestions or assumptions I had to clear up. Like my mom didn't know what streaming was, so she thought I was like a cam boy.
What?
She didn't
In
understand.
respects, that is
Cam
kind
boy, are you serious?
Can you explain what that
Boy
means
with
exactly?
clothes on.
She was just like I'm not comfortable with you like doing like showing yourself for money. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
I mean, you kind of are showing yourself playing video games for money.
No, I don't even have a face cam.
In your sleep
oh.
jeans.
Okay,
My
yeah,
brother,
no.
like had to jump in, just like that's not the same thing. He doesn't even use a face cam. You're thinking of like, and then we had to like dodge it and be like, you're thinking of like the other site. No, this is just he plays video games. And then
Jesus.
that was
They were
just
thinking
like,
about Chatterbait, I guess.
yeah, they were, and just like that's not what I'm doing here. That's so like I've had weird kind of assumptions I've had to clear up. I'm trying to think if there's any toxic things. No, I got a weird DM from someone who was just like, "I'll send you pictures if you shout out my stream," and I'm like, "Please don't do that."
Ugh.
I've had strange things. I haven't had any like toxic people, and I think it's because I don't know. I actually
There's
don't know.
one thing that always happens in the Pokemon community. So the latest game to come out was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and anytime I'm doing a speedrun of it, someone comes into the chat and asks, "Do you do shiny hunting?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Do you have this?" I'm like, "No, this is a brand new file. I don't have anything on this file. I don't have anything in my accounts in general." And they pester me for like 5 minutes and then just leave. And I'm like, "Why'd you even join? Like, what's your point in doing this?" This is like, it's the equivalent of someone coming into a League stream and just saying you're trash or like that was your fault. So
A couple questions from the chat. One of them being, how have your families reacted to streaming? Kind of what Chum was describing there.
my
Mom's
parents,
okay with it. My
Yeah.
grandma doesn't understand it, but my mom's like, "That's kind of cool that you can do that. You just put yourself out there and talk to other people from around the world and stuff." But nobody else in my family knows except for those two.
yeah, my parents are relatively okay with it. Just the biggest issue for my house is that my parents need help because my dad broke his wrist recently and my mom can't lift much, so oftentimes at night I have to help them put away stuff, lock up the house and everything. So when I'm trying to stream, I get interrupted one way or another. And that's just become a joke in the house, in the stream for me. As well as if I don't have my door shut fully, my mom hears me typing or talking and she's always yelling, "Shut your door," which has become just a hashtag "shut your door" for me. Often.
New meme.
But yeah, my parents are fine with it. I explained it to them. I was like, I could make money off of this. I don't do it often, but I could still make some money off of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I went the money route, and I told them if they can't understand, because they already don't really understand like gaming. I've been gaming my whole life, but it's always been just like a hobby thing, and they've never really done anything with it other than my sister. But if I turned it into more of like this is like a side job kind of thing and like, oh, look at the money that I'm making from it, I feel like they're a lot more accepting of it. Not so much as like, oh, you're forbidden to do that or I'm mad at you for it or anything, but they just never really understood until I was like, I can make money from it. And they were like, well, okay, I guess that's cool, you know?
For
So,
me, it was quite weird because um, my parents, like all my life, they've been saying that you've been gaming a lot. You know, it's not gonna give you anything unless you get into esports, which you will never do because you only have a laptop and you're not paying for your PC.
At least they know
So
about esports. That's kind of impressive.
yeah. So what I told my mom and dad was like, you know what, I'll do my main thing, that is football, but on the side I will do this, the same thing as you did, Rebellion. But the thing is that in India they give a shit more about money than your passion, and it's kind of fucked up over there. So what I told them, you know what, I can earn money from it, but it's not gonna be like quick money. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take, let's say, that 5 years. So you can't judge like from 2 months or 3 months. It's gonna take years to get shit done. It's with any business, to be honest. Yeah, you cannot
Yeah.
just earn like a shitload of money within 5 months.
Yeah, exactly. It is much like a small business. Like it's a startup sort of thing.
Yep.
Totally.
um,
There was. Did anyone else want to speak on that while I find my other question?
so I started it with like, so my mom thought I was a cam boy, which was awkward and weird in itself, and my brother had to explain that. My dad, when he saw the payout, he was just like, uh, double finger gun, yo son. Now what if we got your cousin in and your sister in, just like we'll get all that money fast? I'm like, why did you?
It's like Jackson 5 streaming.
It was just like, oh, hold on, my sister's 9, so she's not allowed on this anyway.
Oh
Jesus
He's
Christ.
just like, but Minecraft though. Just like, anyway, fine. No,
the amount
no.
of 50-year-old guys that would come into that stream.
Oh.
immediately.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Oh,
So like,
God.
my mom was uncomfortable with it. Then she saw the payout, and then it was explained that, oh, it's all up in the up and up, and she was on board with it. She's not a super huge fan, but she's fine. My grandmother could really care less either way. Like, just any money is awesome.
yeah.
My grandmother's crazy, so.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
you
Dad
sound
was just
like
on
you
board
sound like a
with the whole
50-year-old
Met
who's
player
like,
thing.
yo, money's awesome.
I mean, hell, even just trying to explain like what this is to people who just don't really get into like the gaming space or like internet stuff that much. Like I
Love
just
to
had to
watch
have
someone
that
else play a
conversation
video
with
game.
someone where they were just like, I see you post all this shit on Instagram. What the hell is this? I had to explain what I do, and I've had to do that multiple times to my friends because I separated myself the streaming from like my old friends from like high school and stuff like that and college because it's always kind of been a separate thing for me where I have like online friends and stuff like that. I keep it with them. And it's really weird to kind of combine those two worlds for me, and it makes me feel like really embarrassed when I feel like I shouldn't, but it's a new concept to them, you know? It's like who goes live on camera and plays video games? Who actually watches that kind of stuff, you know? But people have generally been like supportive of it. I've never had anyone to be like, "That is a waste of time and money," blah blah blah. But definitely a lot of confusion. And Mo asked if anyone has dated someone and then they had to explain like what they're doing and why they're taking time away from them to go stream and do this stuff.
So, I'm an antisocial person in general, and I don't like to hang out with people a lot of the time.
Same.
Any of my friends could easily vouch how many times I've canceled stuff just because I don't want to get out of the house. And I was going on dates with a girl back in December of last year. And I just started streaming a couple weeks prior to that, and I explained it to her, and she was confused at first, but understood, and then she joined a few streams. And since then, I haven't technically dated after that. And was it, I literally lost my train of thought in a matter of 2 seconds.
That's
fine.
okay.
But in terms of like dating, I would just be like, yeah, you can watch me here while I sit here for 4 hours and ignore your texts or messages, and you can just watch me there instead and just listen to me.
Yeah.
Like I actually did that just like 2 weeks ago. I met a girl and I added her on Discord and I was just like, so I'm streaming. Just come join me and I'll just talk to you on there. And that's actually what she
Aw,
did. She just joined
that's
chat. And
awesome.
I was just like, it's so much easier. It
Yeah.
really is.
That's really cool because I have not actually like dated for 10 years now. I've been with the same person, and so he's kind of been with me throughout this whole journey of streaming and YouTube and everything else that I've done. So he kind of just gets the gist of it. He used to make videos with me, so we've kind of already been in that sphere. So I've never had to actually like explain to like a boyfriend like what's going on and stuff, you know, like that's actually really interesting to hear. Like I never really thought about that.
My girlfriend was basically the benefactor of the stream in the first place. She doesn't like video games, so she could care less about them.
Yeah.
But she still like basically for like a birthday present, she gave me the Xbox and stuff, and just like you wanted to stream, so here you go. And I'll be a mod. I probably won't say much besides I don't like blank, but whatever. I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet. Also, you don't have to do that. And then 2 hours of the time would elapse, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna talk in the chat a little bit." And it's just like, "Well, that's great." So, and she and I've been together for like 6 years, so there wasn't any issues whatsoever. There hasn't been any issues as far as like the streaming interrupting anything. She'll still text me in the middle of a stream.
Yeah.
You know what? You found that kind of a person. That's amazing.
Oh, she also bought me a lamp that changes colors like
Ooh.
wirelessly.
God damn it! I need her
Did
number
someone
now.
say red, green, blue lamps? Hello?
No, she got me a lamp that like a pair of lamps. So she's got one and I've got one that's like motion sensitive, and if you wave your hand over the lamp, it changes colors. So it's my
Oh my god.
attention-seeking lamp.
Yo, can I buy that off you?
Yes.
Or steal it off you?
Stop!
Like if I haven't texted her in a little bit, like suddenly my room will just turn into a rave. I'm like, oh god! Oh shit. Hi, dear.
That's awesome. I mean,
So, yeah.
it's fantastic when you can get your significant other like integrated into your stream like that, you know, and like they're so accepting of it that they're actually like a part of it, you know. That's the way it should be.
2-3. Sorry.
Hmm?
Oh, I was gonna say. Okay, cool. So around 2-3 months ago, I was dating this girl, amazing girl. I had to explain her what streaming is and what you can do with this, but then I just like it was quite hard to explain what it is. So what I said that the basic thing, you go live and you watch you and you get to know people and you play games and you get the money, and she go like, all right, cool, I'm down for that. And like I said, I don't mean that you should do it with me, like but it's okay if you want to, but you shouldn't do it with me because she was always busy with her chemistry and her
You're
scientific
encouraged to hang out,
theories.
but it's not mandatory.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think like couples streaming and videos and stuff are like highly popular, you know?
Yes.
Like back when I was making videos with my boyfriend with like Minecraft and shit, like that was one of the biggest reasons we like were getting popular is because people were actually like into seeing us together and like doing stuff together. And I think that was the only reason because I tried later on to just make a YouTube channel by myself and it was like like nothing. So it's definitely cool to get that kind of collaboration because I think people like to see like happy gaming couples. It's like a thing.
Yes, it is a very high thing. Guys, we have time for one more question. Is there anyone in the chat who wants to ask one more question? One lucky question.
Come on down.
Come on down for the question, man.
Is there anything that any of us had a question about that we want to just throw it out there real quick?
I can't think of anything at the moment for myself.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Chum asks, how do we look as fancy as you? Well, you need a little bit of Indian, a little bit of British, a little bit of sexiness, which is instilled in me since childhood, basically. A little bit of confidence, a little bit of like, the pop-up girls that we had, a little bit of skill, a little bit of this. No. You need a little bit of Indian, a little bit of British, a little bit of confidence, a lot of courage, and a shitload of not giving a fuck what other people think.
I think we could all use a lot of that confidence.
I just pulled
If I could
Gamer
just
Pro
get
on
a little
myself and
chip
hope
of
for
it,
the best.
I'd be great.
I mean, you can. Yeah, I can help you with that. I don't mind helping people.
For sure. Well, thank you everybody who came in to chat with us for a little bit. This was like a super successful second episode of this podcast, so I'm super happy with how it turned out. I'm gonna put up a link for people who may not know what Monstrosities is. We're all part of this community together, and we like to do this hopefully every week if we can. Just kind of get together and chat. So if you're interested in doing that kind of thing, hit up the link.
Yep. Thanks a lot for everyone who came today. It was a very successful episode. Thanks a lot,
Totally.
Sham. Thanks a lot, Ranger. Thanks a lot, Bean and Save. Everyone, thanks a lot for coming with us to chat. We enjoy the abuse, and we'll figure out what's the topic for the next time. Let's have a look what we can do. And if you have any more questions about the monstrosities or the monstrosities, don't forget to hit up the Twitter at the monstrosities and hashtag monstrosities as well. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and it was lovely to have you, Lady Rebellion, and all the people. It was just amazing.
Yes, definitely. Thank you guys. I will talk to you guys later. And as always, hit up the podcast discussion if you want to join next time or have another topic that you want to talk about.
Enthusiasm.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
Guys. Wow.
All right. For the end here, I'm gonna go ahead and there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a big old fat raid at somebody since we have so many beautiful people in the chat. We don't want to waste them, so let's go ahead and throw them over to somebody. Let's go over to the Sassy Cat, and I'll give her a big old shout out because she is fabulous, another part of the Monstrosities. So thank you guys, everybody who lurked. Oh, thank you for the bits also. Oh yay, we get all the things in chat. Whoop whoop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a really fun second episode for us to do. We're going to be posting the VOD in the episode section of the Discord, so if you missed any part of it, you can always hit that up and catch up with us. We'd love to have you too. If you want to join us, hit up that link for the Discord, and we'll see you in there. Let's go say hi to Sassy Cat, and I will see you guys again possibly tomorrow since I have the day off for Labor Day. I'll keep y'all posted. Might be a special stream. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But go say hi to Sassy Cat. I'll see y'all later. Bye!